What's up, guys? All right, man. First day. Everybody's fired up, ready to go. We had a great walkthrough this morning. We had a pretty tough practice this afternoon, although it was only helmets. We got a lot done. I thought Max threw the ball well. I thought Garrett looked very well. I thought Keishon Butte caught the ball well. Freshman receivers. Malik Neighbors made a big run. Monty Goodwin, Corey Carnes showed some good stuff. A lot of very positive things. We got to get in football shape. Obviously summer conditioning gets you ready for camp. Camp gets you ready for football. So that's the part of camp we're going to be in for a while now. And it's an acclimation period, but our guys are going to get in better shape, get used to the elements. It was pretty warm out there today. But I think in a couple of days they'll be used to it and it'll be better. Any questions?
Hey, Ed, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate. You mentioned Max there a second ago. How much can it be an advantage now to know you have a month to really work with him and kind of hone things around him?
Yeah.
What do y'all really like about Max, in sort of his skill set that gives you confidence in his ability to start?
Well, first of all, we missed Miles. It was very unfortunate. And I think Max and Miles and the whole team was looking forward to competition. It was very close. We didn't know who was going to be the starting quarterback. I thought the competition would have been very good for the football team to see that because there's competition at every position almost. But it does give us that we know who's our starting quarterback. Obviously, he's got to do it, right? And he's got to be able to perform. But it does enable us to do some things. I mean, he's a lefty and Miles is a righty. It does give us some things that he does different than Miles. Obviously, I'm not going to say everything. I can't. But we know Max is a little bit more mobile than Miles was, and there's some things that he can do. But also, we got to protect him. But you know what? We got to play to win the game. So whatever that takes, we have to do.
Hey, this is Glenn West with LSU Country. You mentioned back in the spring, you guys were just putting the nuts and bolts into the offense and defense.
Yeah.
I'm curious, just over the offseason and the summer, how both of those have expanded and how much more you guys, I guess, have to install.
Yeah.
That's new from back in the spring.
Well, I don't know if it's more of expanded or more reduced. We put a lot in the spring. We had a lot of different ideas in the spring. We had different people, and we had some new people who wanted to try some things. We didn't know our personnel exactly like we know them now. I think that we kind of streamlined the package. Brad came in and obviously added some things or some verbiage or some techniques that he may know. I think it's more or less streamlining what our players can do. And I think that's what's happened this summer.
Hey, Doug Muthon at WLTV in beautiful downtown New Orleans. What do you like about Max? The whole package?
Yeah.
What do you've talked highly about him for a long
Yeah.
time.
I see him every day. He's a competitor. He's serious. He reminds me of Joe in a lot of ways. The intangibles, the things that he does, his work ethic. He wants to be number one. He doesn't say much. There's not a lot of joking around him. He's always doing well in the classroom, always competing to be first, always competing in the weight room, always studying. Football guy, football family, very competitive. He wants to be great. So I see that from him. He ain't got to tell me about it. He does have the intangibles. I thought he had a very good day today. He's tall, he's smart, he can see a lot of things. I think there's some things that he has to improve on, but he's a young player, and that's more or less things that Jake can work with him. But I do believe he's going to be a championship quarterback. I believe in him.
Hey Ed, Michael Cobble from Channel 2 here. You talked about the acclimation. We saw the coaches getting after the guys a little bit, and you've referenced 2018 often. Do you feel like there's an attitude of, all right, we're not messing around. We're here to get better. We've seen what it can take to do that and the results that come with that. Do you feel like that's the mindset?
Yeah, no question. I do believe that. I do believe that we know that we have to be a lot better than we were last year. That was not the LSU standard of performance, so I think there's a little chip on my shoulder, a little chip on their shoulders. A lot of guys came back for that reason, that we knew that we could play better. We feel that we have a very good football team, but we feel that we have to prove ourselves. And, that's just the way it is at LSU. There's a LSU standard performance. Expectations are high, and we invite that.
Hey Ed, you kind of mentioned it yourself a minute ago, but you're down to two quarterbacks, but you like Max's mobility. So how do you balance? Do you change your offense at all because you need to protect him, or do you let it loose?
Well, I think you got to do the things that you have to do to win, just like we did with Joe. We ran quarterback draws with Joe. He scrambled. He extended plays with his feet against Georgia. He made plays when he had to. I think you have to limit. Max wants to be a drop back quarterback. We talked about that. I don't think we're going to have 15 different quarterback runs. Running all this. Him being a primary runner, he's a passer. But there's some things that we have to do to challenge the defense to win the game. And there's some things in football you got to do, and there's some things we're going to do, but we're going to be smart.
Hey, Ed Daniels in New Orleans.
What's up, Ed?
How you doing, Coach?
Good.
Coach, as far as the running back room is concerned, if no one breaks out, how many guys are you willing to give a shot to back there? Are you a committee guy, or would you like to see one guy just win that job?
I do believe that it's time for Tyron and John to do it. I'd like to see that. That doesn't mean that I don't want to see Armani. I don't want to see Josh. I want to see Corey. I want to give them a chance. But those guys, in my opinion, have to be the lead dogs, and for us to get to where we need to go. Now, if another guy beats them out, he beats them out. But I think it's time for those guys to shine. I think they're very capable of doing it. I think they're, for the most part, in great shape. I think Kevin's got them in the right mindset. And I'm going to be interested to see how they play this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey Ed, sorry. Just one more, I guess, about the tight end group in particular. I know you guys are very high on Cole Taylor.
Yeah.
What does, I guess, Jack Besh need to do over the next month or so
Yeah.
to really kind of get some reps? And
Yeah.
didn't see Nick Storrs out there. Is there any update with that?
Yeah, Nick Storrs, right now, it looks like he's going to be medical. We're not sure yet. We're still getting some information. And it's unfortunate. I don't know if he'll be able to play football again. We still have some little research to do there. But it looks like that's going to happen. Pat Mashbourne's a guy that's got to come along, and I believe in Cole. He's gotten bigger. He's about 245, 250. Jack is a very athletic tight end. We may have to move somebody else if one of those guys get hurt, because we're playing with a tight end and mostly in the core most of the time. But I do believe we got some guys that can do it. I'm really looking forward to Jack and Pat Mashburn backing up Cole and going in there and rotating and get some reps. But it looks like Cole's going to be our main guy.
Hey, Coach, Shea Dixon here. How would you describe Brad Davis's coaching style? We got to hear some of it today, but now that you've seen him for a couple months.
Well, he's very smart. I think that first of all, he gets the players to believe in him. He cares about his players. He's from Baton Rouge. He's from Louisiana. He recruited most of those guys, so he has a relationship with most of them. I think they respect him. I think that he's vocal. He's a big guy. He's aggressive. He wants to run the football. He wants to be great on the offensive line. So I'm looking forward to him having a great season for offensive line. You guys okay? Y'all kind of quiet today.
Yeah. I'm up?
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Mike Scarborough with Tiger Bait.
Hey, Mike.
Jacoby Guillory, obviously he was hurt
Yeah.
last year.
Mm-hmm.
What does he have to do in order for you to start talking about him making a lot of depth there? And he's come as a freshman, but what do you think you might be able to see out of him this year?
Hopefully that he can play this year. I think that he's deserved a chance to play. He's got to have a very good camp. I think he squatted like 650 pounds the other day. He's had his best summer. He took a lot of reps today and did very well. He's in the best condition he's been. He's lost some weight. I think that the more consistent he's able to show that he can stay in his gap, he's very strong. know his defense, and be in good shape, I think that he can be a very good football player for us. He's not there yet, but he's coming along.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's, Sage Ryan's a guy who seems like he's versatile, saw him with the nickels today.
Yeah.
I guess, how do you envision how you guys might use him this year?
Yeah, he had a big pick at the end of the game today. And then team period. Our guys love him. He's probably going to be one of our top returners. We're going to use him in the kicking game. We want to use him at nickel, but we also want to play him at safety. We're looking at a guy being a freshman to come out and play excellent on special teams. Back up Cordell maybe. Cordell flat at nickel. And also learn the safety. He's very smart. We want to send him. I think he's a good blitzer. He's very aggressive, very smart, ball hawk. I think he's going to be a great player for us.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, go Tigers.